Hi everyone, it's Jill Foster here on behalf of Penny Black, and I am so excited to be sharing with you a look at our new collection, Autumn 2021. And let me tell you, I am totally in the mood to be making autumn cards this year, enjoying the thoughts of cooler temperatures, pumpkin spice, cozy sweaters, and everything else that comes along with fall. And to start out, I wanted to show you this sentiment set. This is our new sentiment set called Autumn is Calling, and this has everything you could possibly need for any of your autumn themed, Thanksgiving themed cards this year. And I wanted to show you this first. You might want to hit pause and read those a little bit more, but you will see them used on all of the cards in this video. Now let's take a look at our elegant cling stamps to begin with. And the first is this gorgeous wreath. This is 40-782 Golden. Sunflowers are one of my favorite flowers, and I just love how they're mixed in here on this wreath with the corn and the chance to color the leaves whatever colors you would like. For my card, I simply stamped this with Memento Toffee Crunch ink onto Canson watercolor paper, and then I painted it in using a mix of Distress ink, re-inkers used as watercolors, and some gouache paints. So wherever you see more opaque sort of color, that was done with the gouache paints, and where it's a little more vibrant or transparent looking, that was done with the Distress ink re-inkers used as watercolors. Next up is 40-783 Fall Flourish. I love the uniqueness of this stamp. I decided to stamp mine on a slimline size card, so this is the 3.5 by 8.5 inch size. And again, I painted it in the same way as I did the wreath with the Distress ink re-inkers used as watercolors and a touch of gouache paint on there too. I also embellished with some butterflies and of course one of those beautiful sentiments from the set I showed you at the beginning of the video. Here we have another very elegant, beautiful stamp set, 40-787 Autumn Bouquet. I love all of the different ways that this can be used, the different color variations you could use with the leaves. I did a simple standard size card. This is 4.25 by 5.5 inches. And then after I had painted it in, I masked off using painter's tape and inked the inside rectangle. This is 40-785 Gilded Wheat, a really fun brushstroke style stamp that can give you the look of hand painting just by using different ink colors onto the stamp directly. I also added a little shading with markers after I had stamped this. And then this is a really fun stamp. This is 40-790 Windswept, and I love that this can be used in a couple of different ways. On the first card I'll show you, I really used this stamp as the focal point of the card, and I even added a couple of die cut leaves there for extra dimension. Now if you're wondering about complete supply lists for each card that you're seeing today, we will have those for you on our blog in the next 1 to 2 weeks, so I will put a link for that down in the YouTube description box below. Now here's another way that you can use the stamp just as a very subtle background. So here I did lightly inked my cardstock with Memento Toffee Crunch ink and then stamped Windswept using that same color. Now here is another brushstroke stamp. This is 40-788 Autumn Majesty. Again, I just love all the different choices you can make for colors with these. I wanted to add in just a touch of unexpected pink with this and then add that beautiful sentiment, autumn is a second spring when every leaf is a flower. Now I stamped these different colors of the leaves by coloring onto my stamp itself using water-based markers and then blending that out with water once I stamped it onto Bristol cardstock. Now we have a couple of fall fashion girls. Now these stamps I just love. They have so much character and charm and would make such a great card to send a little, maybe a gift card to a coffee shop to a girlfriend. So the first is 40-786 Autumn Vibes. And again, I made another slimline size card for this, and she is really perfect for that size card. And again, I just love how whimsical and fun these are. I stamped them using Shadow Gray archival ink, which gave it sort of a sketched look, like it just been sketched there with a pencil. And then for the darker black on these, I just colored that in using a fine tip marker. This is 40-789 chapters. I love this. Might love this stamp. It might be my favorite in the whole collection because I love the turtleneck sweater and the pumpkins and the leaves around, and then of course that cute little squirrel who's also reading his book. And then here's a really fun one if you're making some Halloween cards. This is 40-784 Boo to You, and just a really fun and unique way to send a card for the Halloween season. Coming up next, we have some swoon-worthy transparent stamp sets, and these really are so gorgeous. I could stamp and color these for days. This is 30-853 Floral Pumpkins, and I love how the floral designs are incorporated right into the stamped pumpkins already. And I made a couple of cards using the same layout. So first I stamped the pumpkin stamp from that new set using Toffee Crunch Memento ink. I painted it in using Distress ink re-inkers used as watercolors, and I added a few details to this just to darken up some areas using Arteza Twi markers. They're a water-based marker. Then I masked off the edges of my die cut stacker. You can see that zigzag die cut there, and I just masked off the very edge of that and then applied some ink, some Toffee Crunch ink, and some stamping with our contemporary background stamp. And then I mounted that panel onto a standard size card, and these cards were complete. A really fun set to make. And if you love pumpkins, this is another really great set. This is 30-855 Pumpkin Stack. And again, I just had so much fun painting these. There's so many different colors you can actually do for pumpkins. They don't have to be just your typical bright orange. You can really mix and match with this pumpkin stack and have some fun. And again, I use the same painting techniques to get that no line watercolor look. Here is 30-858 Apple a Day, and I think this is a really fun card for fall, and it also would make a really fun stamp to give to a teacher. You could just change your sentiment in there, even a thank you, but it would be a really nice stamp to use for teacher cards as well. Now we have more beautiful swoon-worthy transparent stamp set here. This is 30-859 Thankful for You. And this is a really versatile stamp, so I love that you can use this for fall, and I chose to use some sort of fall colors, the orange, the touch of the purple and the greens, and even the peach for the berries. But you could also use this with any colors and really use it any time of year for birthday cards, thinking of you, any type of or any time that you would want to use a floral stamp. This is a really versatile stamp set. Next up, we have 30-861 Bountiful Bouquets. Again, super fun and whimsical and a unique way to make some fall cards. Now, I decided to make a set with these beautiful bouquets, and pretty simple set. I did a slimline size, so the 3.5 by 8.5 size, and then I just stamped the bouquets onto the center of a watercolor panel, and I just colored those up. I went back and added sentiment stamps from that first sentiment set that I showed you at the beginning of this video, and then I just added some inked backgrounds and some unique die cuts or even just torn paper edges to add detail to the design. So this is a set of cards where I sort of did them assembly line style, so first stampings, first painting, then adding the sentiments, and then moving on to different inked backgrounds and ways to sort of add that edge using either torn paper or dies. Next up, we have a great silhouette style stamp. This is 30-862 Pumpkins and Polka Dots. The charm in these is really the great shape that you get with these. And I just stamped these onto smooth cardstock using one color for the pumpkin or the gourd and then one for the stem. Then I went back with colored pencils just to add a little touch of shading to give them some extra dimension. Now, when this autumn collection will also have you falling for some cuties, And the first set that is so cute and adorable is 30-854 Happy Harvest. And that scarecrow is probably the cutest scarecrow I've ever been able to stamp and create with. And I just loved this guy and the little birds with him. And again, so fun to come up with different color schemes for his pockets and his patches, and even for his coat. You can switch that around. Some other super cute sets that we have here is 30-857 Cutest in the Patch. Oh my goodness, these critter pumpkins are so fun. I think I could make just tons of cards with just these alone. I also combined one of those with some die cut pumpkins, and some of the leaves I fussy cut out and added with the die cut set, and along with the sentiment that comes as part of that stamp set. We also have some transparent stamps with cutout dies, so that takes some of the work out of creating cards with these when you have the exact match dies. The first is 30-856 Basket Builder, and the matching cutout is available. Now, I love this for the fall cards with the apples or the corn, or even the apples could be maybe even just for some teacher cards. I also think with the sunflower, you could use this for any time of year, and I think you could add so many things to that basket. You could add pumpkins, you could add flower die cuts. That could really be used any time of year, even poinsettias in Christmas time. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use this set in just that basket alone, and the fact that it comes with the exact match die makes it even more versatile. So as you can see, I made a couple of cards with that. And then finally, we have another transparent set. This is 30-860 Forever Grateful, and the Forever Grateful cutout is available. And I made a couple of cards using this. I just stamped these using black ink and then just did a very simple watercoloring on those and embellished with some die cuts. I also think these would be so beautiful if they were stamped and embossed, heat embossed in white, and then you could add your paints over the top and you'd have all these beautiful white details for those flowers and leaves on the inside. I thank you so much for joining me today as we take a look at our newest collection, Autumn 2021. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos and hit the bell so that you will be notified of all new uploads. And you can also connect and continue to get inspired with us on our Facebook page, Pinterest, Twitter, as well as Instagram, our website, and blog. And I will link all of those for you down in the description box. Happy stamping!